AMP prices are expected to be between 0.009151 and 0.017285 by 2030. Market researchers think AMP prices could reach 0.007117 by 2025. The bearish AMP market price expectation for 2023 is 0.001627. AMP clients are used to paying quickly and not worrying about security when making purchases. This is harder for blockchains, but AMP is using collateralization through its AMP token to make sure that network users don't have to choose between speed and security. The security token was just released at the end of 2020, but it has already gained a lot of popularity. Headway, the company is already being used by more than 40,000 places, and its digital currency is starting to gain some traction. Could we ever figure out how much AMPs cost? Is the token a way to pay in the future? What is AMP? In the world of cryptography, there is debate about whether to put security or speed first. To ensure the welding of every transaction, security is needed, but speed is important for the big picture. Customers can bet digital cash on each transaction to make sure it will bring down the maker of Flexo organization. Tyler Spalding also started AMP. It is based on the Flexo organization and has two main functions. People can use AMP to make safe and quick transactions from their own resources. Shippers can make sure that payments are made in stages by combining Flexo and AMP. Technical analysis shows that since its launch, the price of AMP has gone up and down a lot. The coin's price started at 0.0095, and according to official records, it stayed at that price for a long time. Then, all of a sudden, it went up and crossed 0.039. After that, it traded slowly until it hit a record high of 0.1211. But then it went down a lot. AMP important test AMPs. The white paper says that it is a way to get value while keeping the incentives the same and distributing tokenized financial groups. This is done by combining a non-inflationary incentive distribution with positive criticism. The KOKTS. The record profits AMP is worth $0.002034 right now. As of right now, AMP has moved 0.79, and there have been 6,286,888 trades. AMP is currently number 263 among all digital currencies, with a market value of $85,934,338 USD. Using the general strength files RSI moving weighted normal MWA Williams fractal and Union moving normal, we can tell if we're going to have a good or bad year based on the above mapped chart. Market information and all other information is updated live on our site. This lets us make dynamic price predictions based on what's happening in the market right now. AMP Value Prediction 2023. AMP, from some points of view, is one of the most impressive digital currencies to rise this year. The AMP cost gauge for 2023 predicts a big rise in the last part of the year. Maybe up to 0.003050. As with other digital forms of money, the price will rise gradually, but there won't be any big drops. The average drop is 0.002847, and the price is very high, but it's possible to get it soon if everyone works together. AMP is meant to have a base value of 0.002440. AMP value expectation 2024. Out of 2024 AMP cost expectation has a lot of room to grow because of the possible declarations of many new organizations and drives. We think that the price of AMP will soon go above 0.005084 before putting down any bullish trades. We should wait to see if the AMP's general strength file comes out of the oversold zone. Bets that take into account how hard it is to predict the market. The base exchange rate for AMP will be 0.004067, and the average exchange rate will be 0.004474. 2025. If the vertical pattern continues until 2025, it could hit 0.007117, which could be good for AMP. However, if the market goes down, the goal may not be met. AMP should trade for an average of 0.006507 and a minimum of 0.006101. Assuming that AMP helps the market opinion of electronic money lovers, the price of AMP coins could stay the same for the next 5 years. According to our predictions, AMP will be green in 2026. In 2026, the AMP is supposed to hit and beat its all-time high. I wek xxx vera ver x ver vera vera k wek we x I weaver ver we AMP has a highest value of 0.01184 AMP value expectation 2028 because AMP represents things that are expected to happen by 2028. We expect that a bullish trend will keep bringing the average price to around 0.012608 AMP value prediction 2028 if AMP breaks the safe amount in 2028. The highest price could be 0.013218. If AMP doesn't get the help it needs by 2028, the value of the AMP could drop to 0.012201 AMP 2029. AMP is working toward interoperability between companies to speed up connections. The rising trend from last year is expected to continue, so the base exchange rate has been set at 0.014235 and the annual close price has been set above 0.015252. In 2029, AMP is expected to have a base price of 0.016268 and a maximum price of 0.017285. With an average price of 0.0166. By 2030, AMP will finally do better than its past ADH values and set new price records. Standard Chartered has raised its prediction for Bitcoin in 2024 to $120,000. Since the beginning of the year, Bitcoin's price has gone up 80%. But its present level of just over $30,200 is still less than half of its peak of $69,000 in November 2021. Standard Chartered, Stan.L, said on Monday that the price of Bitcoin, the most popular cryptocurrency, could reach $50,000 this year and $120,000 by the end of 2024. The recent rise in the price of Bitcoin could encourage miners to hold on to more of it. In April, Standard Chartered predicted that Bitcoin would be worth $100,000 by the end of 2024 because the so-called crypto winter was over. However, one of the bank's top FX experts, Jeff Kendrick, said that there was now 20% upside to that prediction. Kendrick wrote in a report that increased miner profitability per BTC, Bitcoin, mined means they can sell less while keeping their cash flows, reducing net BTC supply and pushing BTC prices higher. Since the beginning of the year, Bitcoin's price has gone